pronouncement of mad Donald Trump, the lunatic United States of America. Thou shalt not take the name of thy Lord thy God in vain. They are using the name of God in vain. One of such character is this fellow they call Dachomo. You are not the only person that can talk rubbish.
Hello everyone, welcome once again to Think Tank and thank you so much for joining me. Now the truth is that somebody needs to tame Asari Dokubo, because I don't see any reason why, if you want to make your own suggestion for or against the declaration by President Donald Trump to invade Nigeria, you should use the kind of words you use today on the most influential person in the world, Donald Trump. I don't want to say much. Just take a look at the words Asari Dokubo just released on President Donald Trump and Reverend Dachomo having to do with the genocide in Nigeria. Take a look for yourself.
The pronouncement of mad Donald Trump, the lunatic United States of America, had triggered more hate in Nigeria than had solved the problem. I listen to many people. Sometimes I get angry because when people are deliberately lying, and they claim that they are men of God, and I think maybe they are playing with God. They are just playing with God. Thou shalt not take the name of thy Lord thy God in vain. They are using the name of God in vain. One of such character is this fellow they call Dachomo. You are not the only person that can talk rubbish. Evangelist or Pastor Dachomo or what is Ezekiel Dachomo. That guy is a pathetic and pathological liar. A liar from the pit of hell. Over the years, there have been rivalry in the north. I said people who don't study history. There have been conflict in the north. Tribal conflict along tribal lines, and this had metamorphosed into religious conflicts. And so when they talk about Christian genocide and they bring Tinubu inside that Christian genocide, I look at it and I ask myself, are these people well? I am not Tinubu's lawyer. I am not Tinubu's advocate. But when you look at Tinubu now, do you think Tinubu will have anything to do with religious crisis? His wife is a Christian. His son Cheyi that is everywhere, he's not a Muslim, which everybody knows. Tinubu himself knows. Cheyi is not a Muslim. His wife is not a Muslim. His daughter, Mrs. Ojo, even though she's a Muslim, she's married to a Christian. Why can't we tell ourselves just the raw truth? And people are afraid to talk. I saw that stupid, idiotic Igbo man who had been talking on China. They bring him to shoot out hate, raw hate. He's not talking about the killings going on in Igbo land. Many Igbo towns and villages have been reduced to rubble. Desolate, they cannot go home. That is the truth of the matter. These liars are everywhere. television station talking rubbish. You are talking. Where have you been attacked? We know it. We have first-hand information about what is happening, and the government know these things. The government know these things. So if Birom and Hausa people are fighting, Birom and Hausa people are fighting in the north. If Birom and Hausa people are fighting in the north, how does that translate? How does that translate to Christian-Muslim genocide? Do we not know how the Gom Jos was appointed? We don't know how the Gom Jos was appointed. Was he appointed because Birom hold Jos? What of the Jarawas, who are almost majority Muslims? Is it not Sadwana Sokoto, a Sokoto man, a Fulani, a Muslim, that appointed his private secretary as the first Gom Jos? When there was agitation for Emir of Jos. People don't read this scripture, they don't know anything. They come to lie.
Guys, you have seen it for yourself. Now, the truth is that what I've come to observe is when people make their suggestions about this current genocide in northeastern part of Nigeria and the Middle Belt, most of the time they keep saying it from their own soft spots, from their own sentimental perspective, from their wealth of experience. They don't look at it from the real issues. We all know that Asari Dokubo is a Muslim, and of course he will have his soft spots for that part of Nigeria. If you would agree with me, the fact is that the rate at which people are being sent to RIP in the northeastern part of Nigeria is not something that should be pampered, for goodness sake. You cannot pamper such a thing, except of course it has not happened to you directly. That is when you'll be trying to pamper it. If Donald Trump is saying that the rate at which people are being pied in Nigeria is getting out of hand and he may have to invade, there is nothing wrong with what he has said. After all, if you listen to what Obasanjo said, he said there is nothing wrong in Nigerians calling for an international assistance when they believe that their own president cannot save them at this point. Why will people not call on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as it has to do with the paying of people and as it has to do with the genocide in Nigeria? Who then should they call on? Are you forgetting that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, when he was being sworn in as a president, swore to the oath of Nigeria to make sure that he was going to ensure he protects the life and properties of Nigerians. So there is nothing wrong with Nigerians calling him out to say, see, this is what is going on, and we have no other person to hold on to you, to hold you. So when people like Asari Dokubo comes out and begin to say this kind of words, I feel very disappointed at him. Although sometimes he makes sense in his controversy, but most of the times his analogy and his analysis and his reaction is mostly sentimental, based on what exactly he has to benefit us at the moment. And Nigerians has known him. That is gospel truth about it. You can't tell me that this kind of thing is happening in northeastern Nigeria. You now say people are talking about it. What about the one happening in eastern part of Nigeria? Yes, even if they're killing in eastern part of Nigeria, it is not justified. None of the buying is justified. Take it or leave it. And Nigerians must come out to begin to demand accountability from their leaders. Enough is enough with all these politics, with everything. We are politicking with the life of people. We are politicking with interest. Now they have begun to use the lives of human beings to do business. And you expect people to not say anything about it. I'm glad that he may stay in his house and say what he thinks about it. It doesn't change the facts that Nigerians know. Regardless of how you try to paint it, how you try to do damage control, how you try to correct the perception of the people and all, the facts remain that there is a Christian genocide in the northeastern part of Nigeria, and something must be done about it quickly. Let me use this opportunity to first of all appreciate the federal government of Nigeria. Yes, we may not be happy with what they do, but we're not doing it because we just want to antagonize them or criticize them unjustly. When they do the right thing, we'll say, yes, you've done the right thing. General Christopher Musa has been appointed as the defense minister. I believe that he would obviously bring a change in this current buying of Christians in northeastern part of Nigeria, and it's actually a step in the right direction. So let's congratulate and appreciate President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the APC government for taking that action, and believe that something good will happen soonest.